In this lesson, we're going to be drawing 3 eggs in 5 values. Now, when we met the last time, we had gone over modeling the sphere in 5 values. And this is very similar, except that the eggs are actually ovals and they're not symmetrical. Okay? So the first thing I want us to look at is the supplies that we need. We're going to be using our 11 by 14, our smaller pad of white paper. We're going to be using our pencils and our gum eraser, which is the little yellow square one. Okay, and you're also going to need a comparison stick, and that can be anything that's straight. It could be a ruler, a spoon handle, a paintbrush handle. Okay, so that's what we need. So let's look at how I've placed the eggs here. You'll notice that they're not all lined up on the same plane. I have one egg that's closer, one egg in the middle ground, and one egg further back. Okay, and they form kind of a triangle with the near egg projecting the closest. Okay, and that's what I'd like you to do. So the close egg and the egg in the middle ground should be closer in relationship to each other. And then the egg that's far away, I want slightly more space between the front egg and that back egg going sideways. Okay, so you should see a little negative space that's greater on one side than the other. Okay, and also remember that your table is perpendicular to your light source. In this case, I'm using a window, and you see how the eggs are illuminated. Light on top, slightly on the side, shadows coming this direction. And you can achieve the same thing when you use a desk lamp too. Also, one last little note. I have the eggs facing different directions, so be conscious of that to make it more interesting. This egg, the point is going this way, this one is going this way, and this one in the back is foreshortened. And I'd like you to try to have one egg that's foreshortened, because that'll be a slightly different drawing challenge. Okay, here are my supplies. I have my set of pencils, my gum eraser, the yellowish one, and my comparison stick. And that's all that I need. And like I said before, this is my smaller pad. So I'm going to take my 2H pencil and I'm going to lightly sketch my eggs. So first go about it using just short, straight lines. Add your axis for your egg, which we've been talking about this since day one. It's in our apple, in our onion, and now it's in our egg. Okay, and that will give you a sense of trying to get the symmetry, one on either side, and aligning your center of the bottom to the center of the top. Okay, next I want you to look for the widest point on your egg. In this case, on this egg, it's here to here. And what I did is I created a cross contour line, and that indicates which part of the egg is turned towards me. In this case, that egg is ever so slightly turned toward my view, this point of it. In this one, I'm really sort of looking on the side, so the wider point's going to be toward the center. This egg is foreshortened. All right, the point is right here. My axis is here. And my cross contour is going to be pretty round because really the widest part of the egg is reflected in the outline. Okay, so I'm going to do all that with the 2H pencil. Next, I'm going to come in and create my ellipses for my cast shadows. Okay, these are my cast shadows. All right, and then I'm going to stop. And the next thing I'm going to do is, just like we do in class, is to do my comparisons. I'm still using my 2H pencil. So when I composed this drawing, I looked at where the bottom of this egg intersected my forward egg, and I made a line right here, okay? Then I looked at the top of this same egg and examined what its relationship is to the egg in the back. I then did a vertical. You can see it's kind of hard to do verticals in this situation. I did a vertical where the end of this egg aligning with the cast shadow or coming near to where that cast shadow is. You can see here it's slightly behind where this cast shadow ends. Okay, so I have one vertical, two horizontals, and the only thing left would be proportional comparisons. How big are my eggs that are further away compared to my closest egg, which is going to be my largest, okay? And I can make that comparison. Over here, this is my foreshortened egg. It's going to be smaller than the rest. It's further back. And compare that. It's like 2/3 of my forward egg. Okay? Next, still with my 2H pencil, I'm going to indicate the form shadow. So on my far one, we had talked about this in the sphere class. It's going to come down around just like a sphere, but then when I get towards this point that's projecting towards me, it's the nearest point, that curve is going to change direction and then change direction again as it reaches down to the point, okay? In this one that's coming forward, I'm coming out, I'm reaching that point that's closer to me, that fatter point. It's changing direction, and then it's reversing and going back like a sphere. Okay? So really examine this pattern. All right? This one where the tip of it's coming towards me, it's really curving, then it's reversing right at that tip, and then it's resuming a curve. Okay? And then you're going to go in with the pencil harnesses and pencil techniques that we went over. So remember that this is going to be value 4, and that's going to be our number 4 pencil. All right. Going into the form shadow and the cast shadow. So here's my shadow shape. I'm going to take my number 4 pencil. I'm going to first use parallel diagonal lines. Here, parallel diagonal lines for my cast shadow. Okay, I'm just blocking in a tone so I can see where the shadow is versus where the light is. Okay, here I already did it. Okay. But that's not the pencil technique that we usually use with value 4. We usually use cross contour or cross hatching. Okay. So here I started building up using cross contour as a cross hatch. So if I did that on the side here, I mean it's going around the curve and going around the curve in 2 different directions. Okay. This is spread apart just so I can demonstrate you can see it. Okay, so that's what I would start next. And on this one, maybe I'd start going this direction. Taking my cross contours in 2 different directions, okay? Maybe I'm going to use cross hatching here. All right, so we're slowly going to build up our values using our techniques. All right, so do value number 4. Then you're going to work to value number 5, which is here, which is the shadow edge and the cast shadow. And that's our unified tone, which is cross hatching, regular cross hatching, with our little C's in the little squares, okay? And you're slowly going to build that up. And then that's with value, that's with number 6B pencil. So value 5 with number 6B pencil, unified tone. And then I'm going to work into my transitions on the light side. So I'm going to go in with my 2B pencil. All right, I'm working out of my shadow edge using my cross contours. All right. And that's with the 2B. And then I'm going to work toward my B or my HB and work up to where 0 is going to be. And 0 is where it's fully illuminated. Okay. And lastly, I'm going to add a tone in my background where that illuminated section is on my egg. And I'm going to use my HB parallel diagonal lines to heighten the sense that the egg is much more luminous on this side. And then I'm going to transition it into the background. Okay. I'm going to go over these things again in the next video. And because I know this is a lot all at once. But if you need assistance, on the blog, I have Abby's version of her sphere with the 5 values and the 5 different pencil techniques on that paper. And you can examine it and see what she did. And if you need to make another chart, make another chart for yourself so that you have a feeling of what the value range is and the type of pencil techniques that you're going to use.